Hello everybody, this is the Old School Noob, and today I'm going to be talking about a topic which I think is somewhat realistic and also could generally happen in the future. So, recently we have had two legendary decks come out. We've had the Yugi one with 3 different copies of Yugi's deck, and we've also had the sort of legendary duelists from the original series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Being Kaiba, Joey and Yugi. So in total we've had 4 different Yugi decks, 1 Joey deck and 1 Kaiba deck. And they've all been heroes, right? So I thought, if they were to make a third one, which carried on the theme of it being in the first season or first series of Yu-Gi-Oh!, we could continue that by having a villains legendary decks. Now, I thought the 3 villains they could use, purely because these are the kind of first 3 seasons or 4 seasons villains, are Pegasus, Marek, and Darts. Bakura could be in this if you were to take out one of the others, but I think Bakura, because he is in the final season rather than in the main seasons with all the jewels in them, I feel like his deck would be a lot weaker than these other 3, because Pegasus has his tunes and there have been a lot of tune cards come out recently, so they could have a very, very vamped up version of Pegasus's tune deck with Relinquished and Thousand Eyes Restrict and everything. So we could also get some nice reprints. Marek's deck, of course, came out in a structure deck, but there have been, reprints of new Ra cards as being Millennium packs and Rivals of the Pharaoh Duelist pack to vamp up Marek's deck as well. And also, obviously, Darts. We've had 1 printing of Seal of Orichalcos. That was about 4 years ago now. So I think it might be time for them to reprint the Seal of Orichalcos. Not necessarily as an ultra rare, but maybe as like a secret even. I doubt they would print a copy of the 2nd seal and the 3rd seal though, because that's kind of just really unrealistic. But, Darts' deck could actually be very interesting, and they could actually print cards that we've never seen before being printed in the game. So, onto the next concept which I thought of was a Bonds Beyond Time version, and the only reason I called it Bonds Beyond Time was it was the only way that you could kind of bring in Yugi's, Jaden's and Yusei's decks, because they've never really corresponded in any way apart from that movie. And obviously in that, Yugi's deck is the kind of Battle City deck, but it's not at the same time. In the movie you do see a few cards that weren't in his Battle City deck, even though it is shown that it's during Battle City. So you could still have a very vamped up version of Yugi's deck, and you could even use some of those newer cards that I mentioned earlier with Merit that came out in Millennium Pack. So we've also got the Jaden version, which we haven't seen a legendary deck of yet. So there haven't been very many GX cards being released in a long time, probably since the Royal Yellow Mega Pack and the Legendary Collection 2. So, we could get a Jaden deck that's pretty good actually, because when you think about it, he used all of the elemental heroes, so you could get reprints of literally every elemental hero. You could get a Neos, which is like an ultra or secret rare. You could get different, you could get Prisma that's like a secret rare. That'd be pretty cool. There's loads of different stuff that they could reprint. You could even have Yubel in there as a promo card. That would be pretty cool, even though it's not actually in his deck. But that would be really cool to see, because, even Yubel hasn't been reprinted, I don't think. But there's loads of different things, especially with Jaden's deck, that you could print in and for it to be really cool. So finally, for this legendary deck, you have Yusei. Now, of course, there isn't much to do with Yusei, because practically every card he used was printed. So, and it's not that long ago, even though it was like 2008, 2009. Most of his stuff did get printed. So there was Legendary Collections 5Ds, which pretty much just reprinted old stuff. There's maybe a few new cards, but not much that you could vamp a Yusei deck up with, but they could still make a pretty good one. You'd obviously get a Stardust Dragon, and they'd probably make it a decent rarity as well. So for the third and final Legendary Decks concept, we have got a Jewel Academy version, which of course means there would be another Jaden deck, and the only problem with this is that it would be practically the exact same as the one in the Bonds Beyond Time, because if it were to be the Season 4 version that we didn't get, it would have to be pretty much the exact same deck. because this Jaden and the one in Bonds Beyond Time would have the same deck, the identical deck. So unless they were to switch it up a little bit, maybe just replace some of the stuff from Season 4 with what he used to use in Season 1 and 2, they could do that. Because if it was Duel Academy, it would make more sense for them to have stuff from his entire run of the season rather than just stuff from his final encounter. So I did also put Jesse in here, and that's because he's a very prominent character in Season 3, because the Crystal Beasts are a very interesting archetype, and I think they would be great with the reprint. And, you know, they could even add stuff to the archetype, which I highly doubt would happen, but it would be very cool. And obviously Crystal Beasts have not been re-released in a long time, and there's certain cards that are still kind of annoyingly pricey. And finally we have got Aster Phoenix. Now of course he can very well not be in this. You could switch him with Zane or something and have a Cyber Dragon archetype deck with, you know, like the newest Cyber Dragon stuff from the structure decks and whatnot. But I chose to go with Aster because of the Destiny Hero archetype, and because that has got new support recently. So you could always go with Aster Phoenix, because Destiny Hero is always fun to play. And also, when you do think about it, Aster has been in Arc 5 recently and still is in it. So what you could very well do is add some of his cards from that, even though it wouldn't make that much sense as it is Duel Academy. But, you know, you could very well add some of those cards from Arc 5 and make it a bit more interesting with some Xyz Synchro Fusion monsters, you know, add some Pendulum monsters in even. That would be really quite cool actually. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment showing me what you want to see as a legendary dex, what you want to see printed in it, and also what you thought of my list. So if you want to subscribe and check out my Raging Tempest booster box opening that I'm going to be doing at the start of February when the set comes out, just stick around and watch that and see what I pull, because I'm very hyped for that set, because it seems like there's got to be a lot of cool stuff in it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.